get this. Huh? We don't have to have one subcommittee. All right, good morning, everybody. We'll go ahead and get started. What's loud? With the motor vehicles subcommittee for tags and titles. We got 3 bills, but only one person here, so I guess Mr. Belton, you get to go first.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really do appreciate the committee allowing me to present this bill. As you know, my goal in life is to keep my wife happy, but the other goal in life is to present military-friendly bills to make sure that Georgia is the most military-friendly state in the nation. This is a very simple bill. There's 2 portions of it. The first portion kind of clarifies and simplifies, makes 2 minor changes to existing law. If you look at page lines 29 or so, it just kind of reorganizes, cleans up, and clarifies requirements to new drivers under the age of 18 to get a driver's license. But the real meat of the bill is on page is on lines 130, 135 or so. It recognizes the urgency of enlisted process for newly enlisted soldiers in armed forces under the age of 18 to be able to get a driver's license without having to wait the year period. What happens is when you enlist, you come into the Army or the Navy or whatever it is at different levels. And if you don't have a driver's license, you come in as an E1, the very lowest of the low. And by the way, it's very important. I think people should know this is you should be very proud as a Georgia representative that Georgia has the second highest number of people who enlist in the armed services of any state. The only state that beats us is Florida. So we have a lot of Georgia young people going into the military. And when they get there, they're set at the very lowest level at E1. Whereas if you have a driver's license or other technical qualifications, you may go in as an E2 or an E3 or even an E4. My brother went as an E5, believe it or not. And so this is a big deal when you're down at the very, very lowest point of the totem pole. So our Georgia youth are being disadvantaged because they're walking into military at the very, very lowest rung. And this bill just tries to address that. And I will stand for questions, sir.
All right, I got a couple of questions here. So let's go to line. All right, so line 34 through 39. So is this saying that all kids of the age of 16 have to complete or approve driver's education, public driving school? Then they have to complete an alcohol and drug course that's prescribed by the subsection code. Is that going to be for every 16-year-old, or is that?
That's for everyone between 16 and 18 will have to do those.
All right, is that already in code now?
The code now is above that. Your lines we're deleting. It's a very, very complicated mishmash of if you're 17 or above, if you're 16 or above, that kind of thing. We're just trying to clarify that it's a one easily recognizable 16-year-old between 16 and 18. This is what you have to do.
All right, so take me through. I've got a son that's fixing to turn 16. So what all does he have to do currently to get a driver's license?
Well, it depends, but if he's at age 16, he has to do what we're talking about right here. What happens is if you see the above line, like 19, it talks about if you're above 17, there's different clarifications, and the lines also lines 43 to 50 above 17. So basically, we're saying everyone. We're eliminating the differentiation between 16 and 17. So at 16, we're doing exactly what we're doing before, but we're trying to eliminate that 17 period, above 17 period, because it complicates the bill quite a bit. And it complicates, parents really can't understand what's going on. And sometimes teenagers will wait till 17 because they have smaller requirements.
So now you're going at 17, you're still going to have to do the same requirements.
Exactly right. Anyone between 16 and 18 will have to do the same thing.
All right, hang on, I've got a question.
That's right, and I'm going to kind of abstain from the bill, but I do, as an expert in the industry, I'll just offer this two pieces, and that is that the requirements for the 16-year-olds will not change, and so they're not changing that in the bill. My reading, they're just saying, hey, this is kind of making it simpler for parents to understand, because right now at almost every age, 15, 16, 17, there's different requirements, and so they're saying, hey, let's make this simpler for parents to understand what these requirements are.
Okay, and so on line 37, where it's got to see, is the drug and alcohol course prescribed? Is that Joshua's law? Was that?
That's already state law. That's that's ADAP. So a lot of this is cleanup, like the chairman was saying. Let me go back to, I think I'm on the wrong bill. Okay, so line 34. So that is cleanup. I know that sounds crazy, but Title 40 has to be the most and hardest to read code section, I think, in the code. And we have to kind of read through the lines here, because it's not only Title 40, it's Title 43 too. So when we talk about line 34, we say is at least. So we're talking. You kind of have to read the lines here. So a Class C driver's license to a person under the age 18, they have to be at least 16 years of age. That means 16, 17. Now we're capturing those folks, and so. But the 16-year-olds are already captured, so that's an important thing to mention. The next thing is has taken the approved driver's education course, which is already law. Has taken the alcohol and drug course, that is already law, I believe, in Title 43. And so what we're doing is we're moving that to Title 40, because that's where it needs to be. We're also changing things like, if you go up in the bill, I don't know if it's this one or another I was looking at, but we're kind of fixing this stuff that we've had over the last almost 20 years, where we've added definitions that don't have clear definitions. And so when we go through there and we add that, we're moving stuff from Title 43. And I think as we move through the session, you'll see that some things are moved out of Title 40 and into 43, just to kind of clarify where they need to be by state code.
Okay, and when will this go into effect?
I'll let the bill presenter present it.
I can't recall. I'm sorry. I thought it was immediately, but I don't recall a time we decided.
Okay, I didn't know if it would go into effect July 1st, January 1st, or upon the governor's signature. Okay. All right. So got any other questions? Me and the members? All right. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion. Okay, I got a motion. Need a second. Representative Kennard, are you still on Zoom with us?
I'm here, yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Could you give me a second on this?
Yeah, you got a second.
All right. All right, got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None? All right. Guess Bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. All right. Who's up next? The legendary Buddy Deloach.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I bring what in the olden days we'd call this is a simple little housekeeping bill. What it actually does is clarify and simplify our definition of who is a veteran as it relates to veterans' driver's license in the state of Georgia. What this bill does very simply is take out some rather convoluted language and puts in the exact language that is found in the federal statute in Title 38. It defines a veteran, and that's exactly how we have defined it in this bill. Sure. One time, a long time ago, the only thing you had to do to get a veteran's driver's license was take your DD 214 and go to the driver's license bureau and show it to them, and they issued your driver's license. Our language got a little convoluted, and they decided they needed a certificate from the Veterans Administration. So what's required now is you go down to the VA and you sit for about half a day, and you see a counselor, and he gives you this little sheet of paper, and you take it back and get your veteran's driver's license. We think that simplifying this language. All they got to do is look at your DD 214, make sure it's your name, look in block 13A where it qualifies your service as honorable or dishonorable or whatever. And as long as it doesn't say dishonorable, you're entitled to the driver's license. So we think when we simplify this language, we can go back and make it a lot easier for folks to get a veteran's driver's license.
Okay, and what LC number are you reading off of?
392893S.
Okay,
The reason there's a committee substitute is some people looked at this bill and they thought we were taking out reservist and National Guard folks. And so we just put language back in to make it very clear
okay,
that they're included.
okay. All right, sounds like a good bill. Any questions from anybody on the committee? All right, no question, no questions. This time I entertain a motion. All right, got a motion. I need a second.
Second.
All right, got a second. All right, all in favor say aye. Any
Aye.
opposed?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Thank you. Okay, well, so I guess, let's see here. House Bill 453, Representative McDonald's not here, so I guess we'll move that one on to the next meeting. Anybody got any comments or issues we need to talk about? If not, we're adjourned.